The Kosovo Specialist Chambers is now in session.
Good morning. Court officer, can you please call the case?
Good morning, Your Honors. This is case KSC BC 2020-05, the Specialist Prosecutor versus Salih, Mustafa.
Thank you, Madam Court Officer. First of all, I will call appearances on my right-hand side. The SPO, you have the floor.
Good morning, Your Honors. The SPO today is represented by Alex Whiting, Deputy Specialist Prosecutor, Cesare Michalczuk, Prosecutor, Silvia D'Ascoli, Associate Prosecutor, Julie Mann, Case Manager, and myself, Filippo De Minicis, Associate Prosecutor.
Thank you. Yes, Victims' Counsel.
Good morning, Your Honours. Good morning, everyone. The Victims' Counsel team is today represented by Lisbeth Zechfeld, co-counsel, by Marie-Pierre Barbeau, a Senior Legal Associate, and by myself as Victim Counsel, Annie Poos.
Thank you. And Defense Counsel, you have the floor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Defense is represented by myself, Julius von Bonnet, lead counsel, my co-counsel, Mr. Betim Shala, Mr. Fatmir Pillai, interpreter, investigator, and joining us via remote is Mr. Mustafa, the accused. Lastly, if I may, Mr. Mustafa will join us also on the 4th of October remotely.
Thank you, Defense Counsel. Mr. Mustafa, does the connection work well? Can you hear us fine?
Yes, Your Honor, very well.
And I note the presence of Mr. Hans van der Waal, Deputy Counsel for Witness 4600. Yes. For the record, you are appearing before Trial Panel 1. We have planned today to continue with the testimony of Witness 4600. Court usher, can we please usher the witness into the courtroom? Welcome back, Mr. Witness. Did you have a nice weekend?
Yes, thank you very well.
Mr. Witness, today we will continue with your testimony. Before we start, I would like to go briefly into a private session. Madam Court Officer, can we go into private session?
Your Honors, we're now in private session.
Thank you, Madam Court Officer. Mr. Witness, I want to inform you that we have given you assurances last week and they are still valid. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Madam Court Officer, we can go back into public session, please.
Your Honors, we're back in open session.
Thank you. Mr. Witness, I remind you that you are under oath to tell the truth. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Defense Counsel, on Friday you informed us that your estimation was that you still would need about 15 minutes to do some questioning. Is that estimation still accurate?
I think so. It will be 15 to 20 minutes maximum. It's just to brief issues, I think we can go through them quite quickly.
Mr. Witness, I will now give the floor to the Defense Counsel in order to continue with some questioning. You have the floor, Defense Counsel.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Witness. if there was a person in the brigade with the name of Salih.
Can you repeat the name once again, please?
Salih.
You mean Salih?
Yes, if that's how you pronounce it.
Yes.
Das kann sein.
There were two Salihs.
Salih Mustafa.
There was Salih Mustafa, and there was another Salih whose last name I don't know.
And the other person, where was that person stationed?
Vermuten man kann
Sometimes at the base, sometimes at certain locations, sometimes at the Skifterat's base, sometimes at the Karadak's base, sometimes in Lab, so he moved around.
And this Salih, what was his task, do you know, if you know?
I don't know.
Did you meet him personally?
Yes, I met with him outdoors. I've also met with him in when we spent time together with other people.
What kind of things would you discuss with him on a professional or level of your positions?
Perhaps we discussed only private issues, private matters. I didn't discuss anything with him about military issues.
Do you know who was his superior?
Rule 127, paragraph 3 of the rules and our decision on the conduct of proceedings, the panel may allow a redirect. Mr. Prosecutor, you indicated last Friday that you needed to review the record over the weekend and you would inform us today where you would stand. Do you wish to re-examine the witness, and if so, how long?
Just a couple of questions, Your Honor. Thank you. I don't think it will take more than 5 minutes.
Mr. Witness, the special prosecutor's office will now ask you some questions.
Yes.
Mr. Prosecutor, do you want to stay in private or do you want us to revert to go to public?
Your Honor, I think it's safe to move, we can safely move back into an open session.
Okay, good.
Your Honor, we're back in public session.
Mr. Prosecutor, you have the floor to re-examine the witness. Please, proceed.
Thanks, Your Honor. Good morning, witness. And I remind you we're in open session now, so let's be extra careful. On the 24th of September, you can find this at page 18, line 20 of the draft transcript for that day. You told us that Brigade 153 and Skifterat were two separate entities, two separate units. Do you recall telling us that?
Yes.
Today, during cross-examination by defense counsel, you said that you knew two Salih at the time. One was Salih Mustafa, and then there was another Salih whose surname you could not recall, who was whom you also cited in that area.
Yes.
You told us that his superiors must have been in Brigade 153. And so was that because you knew him to be a member of that brigade?
Yes. This is how it was.
Finally, you also told us that you saw him in different places. You also mentioned the Skifterat base. Now, was he based, as in stationed there, or was there a place where you saw him on occasion?
Maybe I was misunderstood in relation to the Skifterat base. I did not see him there. I saw him in movement while we were moving from the brigade to other points like Buna 29 or from the lab zone or from the Karadak zone. So we were constantly in movement. I did not see him at Skifterat's base.
Just 1 second, Your Honor, please. To your knowledge, was this Salih ever part of the Skifterat unit?
I don't know that he was.
Thanks, Your Honors, for allowing us some redirect, and we have no further questions.
Thank you, Mr. Prosecutor. I turn now to the Victims' Counsel. Do you wish to proceed with the examination of the witness, and if so, for how long?
Would you allow us 2 minutes for consultation amongst ourselves regarding one particular issue, and then I will let you know.
Of course.
Your Honor, thank you very much. We don't have any further questions.
Thank you, Victims' Counsel. I now turn to the defense. Do you wish to proceed with the rejoinder examination of the witness, Mr. von Bonnet?
Just 2 questions, Your Honor.
Please proceed.
At the moment that you I think it's better to go in private session.
Madam Court Officer, could you please refer us to a private session, please?
I don't know what his position was, but he had a higher up position. He was not a guard. The soldiers would do the guard duty, but not him.
And why would he not do guard duty?
Yes, I'm going about the questions that were asked by the SPO, Mr. von Bonnet.
Fair enough, Your Honor.
I was trying
okay.
to give you a little bit of space, but you're taking too much of it.
Okay, we have further no questions, Your Honor.
Thank you, Madam. We are now in private. Madam Court Officer, could you bring us back into public, please?
Your Honors, we're back in open session.
Thank you. Mr. Witness, you have been asked several questions by the Specialist Prosecutor's Office, and by the Victims' Counsel, and by the Defense Counsel. I ask you to bear a little bit more with us. Also, the trial panel wants to ask you some questions. They will allow us to gain some more clarity about what you have said in your testimony up till now. Yeah? Okay. Thank you. I think it's best that we have to go now into private session. Madam Court Officer, can we go into private? that Salih Mustafa was the commander of the BIA, and that the BIA used this base in Slash. And then I refer to the transcript of your testimony of the 23rd of September, lines 23 and 25 on page 44, and lines 1 till 6 on page 45. And my question is, was Salih Mustafa in control of the Skifterat base in Slash?
Yes. Yes, it was him.
And there has been questioning by the defense, and that's the 24th of September, page 50, lines 11 till 25. You told us that Agran Semaili and Fatmir Sopi and Salih Mustafa would rotate in that base. And what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
It's a misunderstanding. They would change their positions, not rotate within the base. For example, Seydi Veseli was chief of staff, and that position changed later, and so did the positions of the other two. So this is what I meant by change. I did not refer to changes in their whereabouts or location where they were based.
Okay, I will read out what you said. Even kijken. And in those moments, or and my impression was, but we are here to clarify, my impression was that they would rotate there on the premises of the Skifterat base.
That's not what I meant with that answer. What I meant was that they moved. These names that you mentioned moved, changed. But in any case, the person in charge of that base was Salih Mustafa. As for their change or rotation, I did not mean their rotation within that base, but I meant the positions that they held. They could have been there, they could have been in Buna 29 or at Skifteras base, wherever they wanted, because they were leaders of the brigade.
Okay, thank you for that. Yes, there was another remark you made in the transcript that is of the 23rd of September, page 12, line 1 till 8. You mentioned that there were families on the premises of Slash, other families.
There were many families in Slash because Slash is divided by neighborhoods. But at the Skifteri compound, as we called it, there were other families. There were families that were family related to the owners of the compound. So there were other families there.
Then do I understand you well that on the Skifteri compound, what you are saying, but please correct me if I'm wrong, there were soldiers of BIA and there were also houses with families living there.
You're not
No, there were no families living in the compound. The family had moved out of that compound years before, moved to the town, but in the vicinity of that compound, there were families that lived there in the vicinity.
That clarifies. Thank you for that too. Yes, and then my last question would be,
Your Honors, we're now back in public session.
Okay. Mr. Witness, this is the end of your testimony here at the court. You've spent 3 days with us, and I can imagine that it must have been tiring and demanding. I would like to thank you because I believe that your testimony will help us in our effort to try to find the truth. So thank you very much. I wish you a safe journey home, and I remind you that you should not discuss with anyone the testimony you have given here before the specialist chambers. Yes? Okay, please, court usher, could you usher the witness out of the courtroom?
Thank you very much.
Now that the testimony of the first 2 SPO witnesses have finished, I would like to remind parties and the Victims' Council of the procedure for submission of material through a witness. We set that out in our conduct of proceedings in paragraph 37 of the decision on conduct of proceedings. And this includes any material produced during a witness testimony, such as items of marked by witness during his testimony. Yeah? Do the parties and the Victims' Council have anything to raise with the panel?
Nothing from us, Your Honor. Thank you.
And the Victims' Council?
No, thank you.
And the Defense Council?
Just as I said, that the next witness, when he appears, then the accused will be in video link participating during that question. I understood there was some kind of request, and in that perspective, that might help organizational issues in court. Thank you very much.
Very much appreciated, Counsel. I recall that we will commence the testimony of the next SPO witness 1679 on the 4th of October at 9:30. The hearing is adjourned.
All rise.